Oh boy, probably another morph user.
Creature of steel, prepare thyself!
Yeah, okay dude, just come and fight me.
Judgment!
What?
Judgment!
Shadestepper is known as the burst damage and glass cannon archetype for assassin. The main concept of Shadestepper is pretty simple. You use an ability called vanish to basically reposition yourself to execute backstabs on enemies. The rest of the archetype pretty much built around this. Its major abilities consist of Surprise Strike. Your first hit after casting vanish will deal plus 80% more damage. Marked. Smoke Bomb will add +1 mark to enemies it hits. Marked enemies will take +7% more damage from attacks for each mark they have. And lastly, Satsugen. If an enemy has +4 marks, your next multi-hit or powder special will deal +100% more damage. And an honorable mention, Nightcloak Knives. If you cast Spin Attack while you're in Vanish, it will consume all marks from nearby enemies. For every 2 marks consumed, summon a knife. Dealing damage will send your knives to your target, dealing 9% of the damage you just dealt per knife. As you can tell, a lot of these abilities are built towards making you have an absolutely devastating backstab. So, this is pretty much the gameplay loop. First and foremost, you cast Smoke Bomb to put some marks on the enemy. Then you go into Vanish to consume those marks for Nightcloak Knives. Now you only have to do this if the timer for Nightcloak Knives runs out. Then you use Smoke Bomb again. You don't have to do this all the time, only when the marks get low. And then you go into Vanish to perform your backstab. Whenever you go to cast your backstab, you're actually going to cast backstab twice. Reason being is just to proc Shadow Siphon to reset the cooldown of Vanish. The same thing goes whenever you're getting Nightcloak Knives. After you cast Spin Attack, just cast backstab twice and go back into Vanish. To make this gameplay loop much easier, I recommend using the Mythic Shadestepper aspect, the aspect of the Calling card, and aspect of the Dagger's silhouette. Overall, Shadestepper is a little bit of a more hands-on archetype. It does take quite a bit of setup to put all of these abilities together to get the perfect backstab. So more or less, it's not really like other archetypes where you just look at the enemy and cast a spell. For this archetype, you have to work for it a little bit more, but the payoff is pretty good. Anywho, now it's time to get into my favorite Shadestepper build. This sacrificial Chris, fallen from the peak of the Tower of Ascension, is completely hollow. To wield it is to invite to yourself the same hollowness, to become such an aberration to unwrite yourself in pursuit of power. It must be fed of its wielder till only the barest existence remains. What the f is this thing talking about? Oblivion, a level 101 Water-Thunder Mythic. Its notable stats are its negative mana regen, which will nullify, its mana steal, which we're going to take full advantage of, its spell damage, which is very nice, and the negative dash cost, which is going to be amazing for the gameplay loop. For the armor, we're going to be using Prosencephalon, Soulflare, Aleph Null, and Stardew. And finally for the accessories, we're going to be using Double Photon, Dragon's Eye Bracelet, and Contrast. With this build, it should amplify our damage quite a bit, and as well, it does nullify the negative mana regen from Oblivion, and it actually does leave us a little bit left over, as well as it gives us a huge amount of mana steal. For mana steal, all you have to do is use your main attack after you perform your double backstab. Since Oblivion is a super slow attack speed weapon, you'll get a huge amount of mana back. And as well, I recommend using 2 mana steal tomes, which will make it so much better. Now, what about the defense of the build? Yeah, it's looking a little slim. The good news is we do have some abilities that will help us with, not dying. Firstly, we have a Mirror Image. Summon 3 clones after reappearing from Vanish that will follow and protect you. When hit, you take 60% less damage, and after 2 hits, one of your clones will die. And secondly, we have Dissolution. When entering and exiting Vanish, become immune to knockback and gain resistance for a brief moment. I do recommend using the aspect of Shadow Armor, mainly just because the duration of Dissolution is only half a second, and with this aspect it makes it pretty much almost a full second. Impressive work against the mummy board, but that was only just the first challenger. Things have only just begun. During my expedition across the world, funded by the amazing future province of Corcus. Wait, where are you going? I'm speechless. You've defeated all of my creations. All except for one. With the funding from Corcus, I've been able to create a mech suit that is so oh come on!